maths related, okay? Still has some maths elements to it. So 3 questions. I'm going to give you 4 minutes, right? As soon as you know the answers, right, you can post them in the chat, okay? But 3 questions there. The first one, I am an odd number. Take away a letter and I become even. What number am I? Number 2, what is the smallest positive number that is divisible, so it can be divided, by both 3 and 5? And number 3, I am a fraction that is greater than a half, so 1/2, but less than 3/4. My numerator is 1 less than my denominator. What fraction am I? So you've got 3 questions, okay? You've got 3 questions. You've got 3 more minutes to try them, right? As soon as you know the answers, you can either put them in the chat, all right? Okay, so I think the easiest thing for you to say is done in the chat, and then myself and Hugo will ask you, but you need to know all 3 answers for you to say done. Okay, so we've got 2 people that have said done so far. You have 2 minutes left. Remember, you need to know the answers for all 3. Some of them are tricky, I know. Oh, some people are getting them quickly. Nice, well done, guys. Okay, so 3 little challenges there, 3 riddles for you. If it's going to load shed by you, don't stress. This lesson is going to be on YouTube, okay? I'm going to post the link for the YouTube quickly for you. I'm just going to go and fetch it quickly from the first screen. I'm going to post it into the chat for you very quickly, so that if you are going to be load shedding, that you can always go and watch this video on YouTube. Just give me a few seconds. Oh dear. Mr. Hugo, do you maybe have the link from before? Mine's not letting me copy it for some strange reason. I think because now I need it. Okay, so for those of you who are having load shedding, if you go onto YouTube, unfortunately, I can't copy it. So if you go onto YouTube and you search for Watobe, you can find the grade 7 lessons on Watobe, and this video will be there. So if you load shedding, don't stress, this video will be there. Okay, Mr. Hugo is going to post it. All right, our 4 minutes are done. So let's have a look at the first person who answered. Let's go all the way back. So the first person to say done was Offense, would you pick up your hand for me? So you've got to put that little hand emoji up for us so that we can see where you are, and then we'll be able to unmute you so you can give us your answers. Right. Okay, unmute yourself. And can you give us your answer for number 1?
Yes.
Number 1. Yep.
I'm an odd number. Take away a letter and I become even. What number am I?
Yes, what did you get? Offense, what number did you get? Offense? I don't know if we maybe just can't hear you at the moment. Offense? Okay, I'm going to move on to somebody who said done next. That was Ganya. Ganya, do you want to pick up your hand? Do you want to unmute yourself and give me your answer for number 1?
Hi, Ryan. The answer was 7.
Well done, Ganya. The answer was 7 for number 1. Nice. 7 is an odd number. If you take away the letter S, it becomes even. Well done. Nice. Nice and easy. Thank you, Ganya. Right. The next person on my list here who said done after Ganya was Mpone Marura. Do you want to pick up your hand for me? Right, do you want to unmute yourself and tell me what your answer was for number 2, the smallest positive number that's divisible by both 3 and 5?
The smallest positive number.
That's divisible by both 3 and 5. What did you get?
I wrote 1 down.
Okay, can you divide 1 by 3?
No.
Okay, so that's not the answer. So I'm going to move on. All right. Offense, do you want to try again? Because you said they're so easy done. Offense, do you want to try again for me?
I think Offense might have dropped off. I think it was load shedding by.
Okay. All right. Injabulo. Thank you, Mr. Hugo. Injabulo. Maybe also logged off. No. Okay. Azande. I think we've lost a whole lot of people with load shedding. All right, Ganya, you've got your hand up again. Do you want to tell us what your answer for number 2 was?
Ma'am, I think it's 15.
Nice. Well done. The answer was 15. Well done. Nice. Okay, and Apalele, you had your hand up. Do you want to tell us what your answer for number 3 was? I see that hand went down very quickly. All right. I see Unati's got her hand up for number 3. Unati, do you want to tell us what your answer is for number 3?
Ma'am, I think it's 4/6.
4/6. Very close. So close. Well done. Okay, so it's so
Yeah.
close to 4/6. Your answer is 2/3, which is almost the same as 2/3. So well done. Very, very close. Well done. You just had to simplify it. Well done. Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
Those were easy. I think I need to set a harder challenge next week, okay? Okay, so we are going to go straight into our fractions for today because that's what our topic is. So we are revising some common fractions today. Everyone, so your paper and your pens at the ready. Remember, we are doing these without calculators, even though I know some of you said that you are allowed to use calculators at your school. We always need to show our workings when we're doing maths. So we need to make sure that we are practicing without our calculators. Okay, because in your final exam, before you're allowed to go to grade 8, you need to make sure that you know how to do these by showing all your workings, which means that you can't use your calculator. Okay, so we've got a mix of sums tonight, okay? And our very first one that we've got here that you'll see on our screen is 4 and 2/7 minus 3 and 6/7. So this is what we call two mixed numbers, everyone. When we have fractions, okay, and we're dealing with mixed numbers and fractions, the very first thing that I always want to do when I have fractions and I'm dealing with mixed numbers is I want to get rid of those mixed numbers. I hate having numbers and fractions and having everything mixed together. It's so confusing for me. Some teachers tell you take the numbers and subtract them and add. That's too confusing for me. Okay, I like to get rid of all my numbers first, all right? And I like to then deal with my fractions only. So let's get rid of all of our mixed numbers first. When I'm getting rid of my fractions, my mixed numbers, sorry. When I'm getting rid of my mixed numbers, what do I need to do? I need to say to myself, well, this is a 4, okay? It's a whole number here, right? So, apologies, everybody. Let's make sure that this is working here tonight. Okay. So, I've got a whole number. It's the number 4. And of course, now it's wanting to disconnect, Mr. Hugo. Okay. All right. Sorry, everybody. We're having the same issue that we had the other night where it didn't want us to write all of a sudden. Okay, so. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try again. All right, so this is the number 4. If I want to get rid of that number 4, okay, I need to have a look at what my denominator is. That's what's going to help me and guide me, okay, in getting rid of that whole number. So I need to say to myself, to get rid of that whole number, I'm going to say the 4 times by that denominator. And that denominator that's there is currently a 7. So 4 times by that 7 is going to give me 28. 4 times 7 gives me 28. Okay. Now, once I've gotten rid of that whole number, what I can do with that 28 is I can add it to the top of my fraction. So I'm going to try my best, everybody, to try and write this because my pen has given out on me again. So we're going to say 28 on the top of my numerator. Okay, no, I'm going to try type it. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so Mr. Hugo, you don't have a device on you at the moment, do you, by any chance?
I can get something started up in a few minutes quickly.
Sorry, my pen has just died on me. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. So 28, and we are working, Mr. Hugo, not to worry. Okay. So 28 on the top. And then what have we got left on our numerator, everybody? We've still got a 2 on top there. So plus the 2 over the denominator, which is 7. All right. Now we're going to move to our next one, minus. What's left over here on the side? I've got a 3 as a whole number. Remember I said I don't like that whole number. So I'm going to say 3 times by the 7, and 3 times by the 7 gives me 21. But I must remember that I've still got a 6 there. So the 21 plus that 6 over the 7. Okay. Right. 28 plus 2 gives me 30 over 7 minus 21 plus 6 gives me 27 over 7. Okay. Now, my next step when I'm doing fractions is to always try and remember, or to try and see, do I now have the same denominator? Okay, so the same denominator, let's look at the bottom. The denominator is both 7. So are we happy that the denominator is the same? Yes, checks my boxes. So now I'm happy to say my numerator is 30 minus 27. My final answer is going to be 3 over 7. Nice and easy. All right, one more together, and then I'm going to let you try one by yourself, which is a bit more challenging because it's got some different numbers in it. Okay, number two. Number two, I'm happy again because the denominators are the same, but I've got a mixed number. So I'm actually going to give you a little bit of time to try this one by yourself. I think some of you have gone ahead. So let's have a look at it. I could go straight into it and I could just add up what the numerators are, but then I'm going to get a bit of a weird number here. Again, I don't like it when I have mixed numbers. So for me, what I'm going to go say is 3 times by the 7 is going to give me 21. And again, while my pen is charging, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do number 2 for me, and number 3 and number 4, just while my pen is charging. So go try number 2, number 3, and number 4 for me while my pen is charging. I know number 3 and number 4 are a challenge, but this is a revision lesson. So go try for me. Go try number 2, number 3, and number 4. And I'm seeing that some people are saying this is much easier than the way you were taught. So that's awesome. I'm glad. Remember, if you were taught a different way in class, that's fine as well. You can always use that way. So I'm glad, I'm happier with that way that you were taught. That's fine. But if this way is easier, you can use that way as well. Okay, so go try number 2, number 3, and number 4 for me. While my pen's charging, go try those ones for me. I'm going to answer some questions. Unati, I see your hand is up. How can I help? Unati, do you need help? I see your hands up.
Yes, ma'am. By number 1, can you go a little bit by number 1, ma'am, please?
Of course I can.
Thank you. Did you divide the 4 and the 7 and then it give you 24 and then you plus the 2 on the top, ma'am?
So I said the 4 times by the 7 gives me 28.
Oh,
There's my 28. Plus the 2 gives me 30. Can you see it?
I see it, ma'am.
Okay, good. Does it make sense,
Thank
Unati?
you.
You're welcome. All right. I can see somebody's hand is up. Oh, there we go. Jabulile.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how can I help?
Ma'am, I just wanted to know that the method that you're using, could it also be, could you say it's an improper fraction? If you want to
Yes.
convert it to say you can make it an improper fraction first.
Yes, absolutely. I like making it an improper fraction first.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Umpile, can I help you?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask you, can you please repeat question 1 again? Because I lost connection.
That's fine. Umpile, you'll see that Mr. Hugo, he has put the link to YouTube in the chat. And if you go onto that link, Umpile, it'll take you to YouTube and all the videos are actually there as well. But see if when I explain the next one, if it helps as well. And then if it doesn't help, at the end of the video, stay linked on at the end of the chat and I'll go through number 1 just for you at the end as well. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. All right, everybody, let's have a look at number 2 and then I'll answer some questions again just now. All right, so number 2. All right, so if we go through to number 2, so number 2, you should have converted it to an improper fraction. That's the way I like to do it. So 3 times 7 gives me 21. So 21. Oh my goodness, my screen is doing strange things tonight. 21 plus the 6 over 7. My next one, thank goodness it's not an improper frac or mixed number. So plus 3 over 7. Are both the denominators the same? 7 and 7? Yes, I'm happy. So Now all that's left to do is say 21 plus 6 gives me 27 over 7 plus 3 over 7. 27 over 7 plus 3 over 7 gives me 30 over 7. So if your teacher says that it's fine for you to leave it like that, we're good, okay? But because we want to go all the way, because we were Watobe students and we want to make sure our answer is finished all the way to the end, we know that leaving it as 30 over 7 is not really a great way to finish your answer. We know that 7 can go into 30 4 times, hey? So 7 can go into 30 4 times, and I'm left with 2 over 7. All right. Number 3. Oh, I'm so glad some of you have got it right. Well done, everybody. Okay, number 3. So number 3 was a little bit trickier. Number 3, again, we've got some mixed numbers. So we want to convert them to improper fractions. Let's go. I'm going to go do my workings on the side again. That's where I like to do my working space. So I've got 3 and 6 over 7. So 3 times 7 gives me 21. So I've got 21 plus 6 over 7 plus 1 times 5 gives me 5 plus 4 over 5. So now I'm going to have 27 over 7 plus 9 over 5. Do I have any more mixed numbers? No, I'm all good. Next step, look at my denominators. Can I add a 7th and a 5th? Are those the same? No, you should all be shaking your heads. I should see lots of shaking of heads on my screens. Okay, I can't add a denominator that's different. I can't add one that's got a 7 and a 5th. Okay, they're not the same. So what do I need to do? I need to find a common denominator, everybody. Right, so now I could spend lots of time looking for what does 7 and 5 go into and what's the same and what's the lowest common denominator. I could spend all my time looking for that. All right. Or what I could go and do is I could go and say, all right, if I say 7 times by 5, I get 35, hey? And does 7 go into 35? Yep. And does 5 go into 35? Yep. So all I'm going to do is multiply them by each other. So I'm going to say, whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. So on this side, I'm going to use a different color to show you what I'm doing. And I'm going to change my pen so it's a little bit thinner for you. I'm going to go and say 5 times 7 on the bottom and 5 times 27 on the top. So the rule is always whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. Now I'm going to go to the other side. So this one I times by 5 to get the bottom to be 35. So what do I need to times 5 by on the other side? I need to times this by 7. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. Okay. Liking the rules. Right. Let's finish off all our little workings here on the side. Running out of space here though. Okay. 5 times 27, my goodness, we might have to go do a little calculation for ourselves, a little soldier sum. All good with that. Use all the space you can on your page. Make sure it's nice and neat though. But 5 times 27 gives me 135 over 35 plus 9 times 7 gives me 36, and 5 times 7 gives me 35. Again, we can go do a little soldier sum again on the side, and we're going to get 171 over 35. Have I made a mistake, Mr. Hugo? I have. Hey, I've made a small mistake, everybody. Can anyone pick up my mistake? Who wants to pick up my mistake for me? Write your name in the chats. Is there anyone who can pick up my mistake? Testing me. Owami, tell me, what was my mistake, Owami?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, by the 9 times 7, ma'am, it's supposed to be 63.
Nice. I'm just testing you to make sure you're looking at what I'm doing. Well done.
Yes,
9
ma'am.
times 7 is 63. Thank you, Owami. Thank you for making sure that I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
63. Thank you. Okay, Owami is awake today. Thank you. And I'm sure that you all picked that up, hey, that I've gotten the multiplication sum wrong. So, equals. Just testing to make sure you guys are all awake on a Wednesday. So I've got 198 over 35. Woo, that's a big sum, guys. It is a big sum, I know, but can you go and make some division sums there now? Work out how many times 35 can go into it? Of course you can. Okay, that is a little bit of a harder one. And remember, I said I was going to throw in some tricky ones here for you today. Okay, but my final sum, I'm going to go and finish it off for you quickly. My final answer is going to be the following. It's going to be, go. My final answer is going to be equal to 5 and 23 over 35. Okay, so that one was a little bit trickier. All right, can we please not put personal messages in the chat, everybody? If you are going against the rules, Mr. Hugo is going to get you to leave the class. All right, need to make sure that the chat is being used for maths related questions. Okay, so 5 and 23 over 25. Okay, I hope some of us managed to get that one right. So I'm going to move my screen down a little bit now. There are some more sums there, and we will come back to them if we have a little bit of time a little bit later. I want to move on to some percentage sums for us. Okay. So if we have a look, the first one on my screen there says, how much is 1 over 100 of 300 cents? How much is 1 over 100 of 300 cents? So I want you guys to make sure that you take note of the following. I want you to make sure that you're taking note of the fact that they're giving you cents here. So when you finish off your answer, you need to make sure that you've also included cents in your answer. So if we're doing 100 of, the word of always means to times. So we've got 1 over 100 times by 300 equals. Okay. The best thing about multiplying fractions, right, is this thing called cross-canceling. Now, when we cross-canceling, if we've got zeros, you're going to luck out here. When we've got zeros, you are super, super, super lucky. Okay, because canceling zeros is the best. For me, what I want to do with this 300 is I want to tell myself, okay, this 300 that they've given me, I want to rewrite this 300. I don't want to just say this is 300. I want to say to myself that this is 300 and I want to turn it into a fraction. I want to say that that 300 is 300 over 1. Because if I say 300 divided by 1, it's still going to give me 300. But now I've got a fraction and I've got a fraction. So it just makes my life so much easier. Fraction and a fraction again. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to do this whole thing called canceling. Right. So When I've got time signs like that, it means I've got some direct access to the numerators and the denominators. So I see some of you already going ahead of me here. I'm going to cancel out some zeros. So I'm going to cancel this 0 on the bottom, this 0 on the top. It's important that you remember you can only do this when you are multiplying, guys, not when you're adding, not when you're subtracting, only when you are multiplying. Cancel this one on the bottom, cancel this one on the top. And my final answer is going to be 3. And I must remember that it's not just 3. Okay, some teachers will take marks off from you. It's 3 cents. All right, go do 8.2 for me while I answer some questions. You can do 8.2 for me, and I'll move, and 8.3 for me. All right, so I have some questions here. Let's have a look. Okay, Nosipo, what's your question?
Ma'am, the first thing we did today, it's kind of confused me because last week I wasn't here. Now I'm kind of confused.
Okay, Nosipo,
The
so
first
last
one we
week,
did.
Last week we did numbers, so we did some revision on whole numbers, so we didn't do fractions at all. But if you do want to go over fractions revision and just practice and make sure you understand, what you can do is at the end of the lesson, Mr. Hugo and I will post the YouTube link, and you can go back and you can watch the whole video from when they did fractions at the beginning of the term. Because today we're just doing a revision. So we're not doing a lesson on how to do fractions. We're just practicing. There we go. Mr. Hugo has put it inside the chat for you now. Okay, so you can save that one. You can go back and you can watch the whole lesson.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Nasipo. No problem.
I'm
All
not
right.
Nasipo, ma'am.
It says Nasipo. Are you using somebody else's phone?
Yes, it's my mom's.
Oh, it's your mom. Sorry. What's your name?
Lizzie.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Thank you, Izzy. Right. Ishmael? Ishmael, do you have a question for me?
Yes, ma'am.
How can I help?
State the first question.
The first question for the one that we just did now.
Yes.
Okay, what's up?
Ma'am, when you first have to work out how to get the answer. And by thinking, I got confused because the first number is a fraction.
Yeah.
Yes. So how do you times it with a number that's not a fraction? And how do you make the 300 a fraction?
Into a fraction. Okay. So Ishmael, if I say to you 300, okay, divided by 1. What's 300 divided by 1?
It's 300.
It's 300, hey? If I said to you
Yes.
4,000 divided by 1.
4,000.
It's 4,000, hey? So actually, any number divided by 1 will give me the number. Do you agree?
Yes.
So I can take any number and I can turn any number into a fraction, hey?
Yes.
So the moment now that I can turn any number into a fraction, and I'll show you, I'm going to do it with number 2 now. Okay, you ready? We're going to do it with number 2 together because lots of people are finished. So you're going to watch with me, hey, Ishmael? So I've got 7 over 100.
Yes.
Times by 300.
300.
And Ishmael, do you agree with me? I'm going to put this over 1.
Yes.
Because 300 divided by 1 gives me 300, hey?
100. Yes.
Okay. So now I've got a fraction times by a fraction, which is what I want.
Yes.
Okay. So now what can I do? I can cross this 0 out with this 0. I can cross this 0 out with this 0, okay?
Yes.
Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So what's left here, Ishmael? I've got 7 divided, because this line means divide, hey, over. So I've got 7 over 1, hey? What's 7 divided by 1?
21.
7, but what's 7? Let's do this side first. What's 7 divided by 1 first?
Oh, divided by 1
Is 7, hey? Do you agree?
is 7. Yes. 7.
And then I've got times. What's 3 divided by 1?
It's 21.
3 first.
Oh, 3
And
is 3, ma'am.
Good. And then 7 times 3 will give me
21.
21 cents.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem, Ishmael. Okay. I see I have one more question that I'm going to answer. So then we'll do 8.3 together when I answer this question. And that is with Elishle. Elishle, do you want to unmute yourself? I see you got mom there with you. Hi, Elishle. How can I help? Elishle? I'm sorry, Elishle, I can't hear you. Okay, I can't hear Elishle. All right, I'm going to do number 8.3 very quickly, and I'm going to do 8.4 for us. Okay, and then we are going to end our lesson. Yes, Mr. Hugo, are you?
Yes, he was asking in Afrikaans, how do you
Oh.
know when you have to multiply?
Oh, how do you know when you have to multiply? Okay, thank you, Mr. Hugo. I appreciate that. I couldn't hear Elishle properly. How do you know when you have to multiply? It's when they use the word of, Elishle. So when they say of, that word of means multiply. So when they say, how much is 25 over 100 of, the word of means multiply. I hope that makes sense to you. So the word of means to multiply. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hugo. All right, let's do number 3 quickly together. So I've got 25 of 100 of 300 cents. So I'm going to have my 2 fractions again. So I've got 25 over 100 times by 300 over 1. I'm going to cancel out my zeros again, cancel out my zeros, and now I'm left with 25 times by 3, which gives me 75 cents. And you're going to see a very, very similar answer for number 4. So I hope that some of you did number 4 and you saw that a quarter of 300 cents, that's kind of like the same thing as saying 300 divided by 4, actually. So if I had to do a quarter of 300 cents, it would be the same thing, and you would also get 75 cents. So you would have 300 over 4, which would also give you 75 cents. So how would I do that? I would have 1 over 4 times by 300 over 1. Okay. Now I wouldn't be able to cancel anything out really, but I could say to myself, okay, what goes into 4 and into 300? Well, I could start with 2. 2 goes into 4 twice. And it goes into 300 150 times. So that's how I would do it. Then I would say to myself, oh, hold on. Doesn't 2 go into 2 as well? So 2 goes into 2 once, and it goes into 150 75 times. And I would be left with 75 cents. Another way to do it is to have 300 divided by 4, because that's the same thing as saying over, and doing your long division, or you could do short division. okay? And you would get 75 cents. Right, so it's the same thing. Okay, so number 5, I see some of you asking for the answer for number 5. So number 5 is 120 cents. Yes, well done, everybody. So it's come to the end of our lesson, Mr. Hugo. I am right, hey, Mr. Hugo? I have got my time right. Okay, it's come to the end of our lesson, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry that we've come to the end of our lesson. I'm so glad to see some of you saying no. I'm so happy that some of you learned something today. Mr. Hugo, do you mind posting the link to our YouTube channel again, just so that some people can get it and they can save it somewhere for themselves? So just make sure that you get the link. Mr. Hugo is also going to post the quiz. So please don't go before you get the quiz. Do not leave until you've got the quiz. Okay, just make sure that you're doing the quiz, everybody. Mr. Hugo, are you with us?
Yes, I just posted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hugo. All right, everybody, I want to see you doing that quiz because today you did so well with fractions. You learned so many new things. So well done, everybody. Enjoy your long weekend and good luck with your quiz. I want to see lots of good results this week. All right, Owami, how can I help you?
Ma'am, ma'am, for 8.4, ma'am, I'm a bit confused, ma'am.
Okay, let's go through it slowly, Owami, because I did it quickly because I was trying to finish us off. Hey. All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
let's have a look, Owami. And it's always confusing when a teacher's trying to finish off quickly. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so Owami. So I've got 1/4 of 300 cents. Okay, so if I've got 1/4, and now my pen doesn't want to work again because we're right at the end of the lesson, of course, hey? Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I've got 1/4. Okay. Let me charge this up a little bit. So 1/4 of 300 cents. What does of mean again, Wami? Tell me.
Ma'am, wait, ma'am, it's ma'am, I think I forgot.
Of means times, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to say 1/4 times by 300. And remember, what do we want to do with the 300? We want to say 300 over 1, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm really sorry, my pen went flat. That's why I'm just talking through it. So 1/4 times by 300 over 1. Now, we might have a small problem here because maybe you're not sure what you can cancel. There's no zeros because, you know, we've been doing zeros all the time. And that was so nice and easy when we had zeros, hey? So much easier. But now there's no zeros. What are they doing to us? All right. So we multiply the top. On the top, we've got 1 times 300. So on the top, we got 300. On the bottom, we've got 4 times 1. So we've got 4. Okay, so let's see if this pen will work a little bit now. So we had 1/4. Oh my goodness. Times by 300 over 1, which gave me 300 over 4. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you sure, Wami?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Wami, can I make this fraction smaller? Can something go into 4 and into 300?
No, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
What can go into 4 and into 300? What can you divide by 4 and into 300?
Ma'am, 2.
2, good. 2 can go into 4 and it can go into 300, hey? How many
Yes,
times
ma'am.
does 2 go into 4?
Once, ma'am.
So 4 divided by 2 gives me 2, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about 300 divided by 2? What will 300 divided by 2, what will it give me?
150, ma'am.
Nice, 150. So now my new fraction, Awami, is going to be 150 over 2, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But now, you know what the giveaway is? You know what I can tell you the giveaway that I can make this smaller? Is that there's still a 0 on the end. So the moment you see that there's a 0 on there, you see that 150?
Yes,
It means
ma'am.
I know that I can make that number smaller. It means I
Yes.
know I can divide it by 2. So
Yes, ma'am.
can I make 150 smaller?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I divide it by 2?
No. Yes, ma'am.
I can. What's 50 divided by 2? Just 50.
Ma'am.
What's 50 divided by 2?
Ma'am, 25.
25. Good. What's 100 divided by 2?
50, ma'am.
50. So 150 divided by 2 is going to give me 75. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So a quarter of 300, in other words, 300 divided by 4 gives me 75 cents. So if you had to take 75 cents and you said 75 plus 75, it gives you 150, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
And 75 plus 75 also gives you 150, hey? And all 4 of those would give you 300.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, I wanted to ask, ma'am. So, ma'am, you're allowed to do that in a test, ma'am.
Yep,
Thank you, ma'am.
no problem, Awami.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, Awami. Have a good weekend. Shakina, how can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. I just wanted to know, is the link that Mr. H sent on the chat, does it lead to the revision?
So that leads to the Watobe course. Let me see if I can link you to the Mr. H. Have you got the YouTube link?
Yeah, the link that I've been recently posting is the link to the quiz that they need to do, and I will. Yes, that's the link to the quiz.
Let me link. I'll put in the YouTube one now, Mr. H. So that's the link to the quiz that Mr. Hugo has been posting for you. And here we go. I'm going to post the one. So then it's a different one. So I'll post the YouTube one for you quickly. Okay. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay.
Right.
And when is the quiz due? Next week, Monday or Wednesday?
Why don't you just do the quiz now? Do it now quick.
Okay.
It's quick. Mr. H, I think it's 20 minutes. Am I right? I think the quiz for this week.
Yes, it's not long, and I think everybody will finish before 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a quick quiz, I promise. It won't take you long at all, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye, ma'am. Bye, sir.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lebogang?
See you next week.
See you next week. Lebogang, how can I help you? Lebo?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how can I help?
Can I see the things that you did before 8,1, 8.1?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Let's have a look. All right. Which ones are you looking for, Lebo?
Then these ones.
This one, number 1.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Do you want me to go through number 1 again?
No, no need.
Okay, no problem. Can I help somebody else in the meantime, or do you need me to help you, or do you want to just look at it?
Look at it, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to help somebody else in the meantime, though. Is that okay, Lebo? Okay, cool. Azande, how can I help?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, I keep on going to the site that Mr. Hugo sends on the group chat, but I can't get the quiz.
The quiz. Oh dear. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a look now. He's posted it again. It's there. So he's just posted it at 17:55. Maybe link on it again.
Ma'am, I did try. It's not working.
Oh dear. Okay, let me see if I don't know if I can click on it. Let me see if it takes me. Just to double check. I believe you. Promise I believe you. I just want to double check. Mr. Hugo, have you tried to click on it?
Yes, I clicked on it and it took me to the lesson. Oh,
Oh.
sorry, it took me to the test. It took me
Oh,
to the
sorry, that-
test.
Oh, there we go.
Yes,
It's
so yeah, so it does work for me.
Oh, it's taking me to the lesson, Mr.
That's what
Hugo.
it does for me too, ma'am.
Yeah, it's taking me to the lesson, Mr. Hugo. Not to the
Okay.
test.
Give me
Do
a
you wanna maybe-
second and I'll just sort that out first quickly.
So Hugo's going to have a look quickly. Okay, so don't log off because he's going to have a look.
Okay, thank you,
Sandeep,
sir.
for
Thank you,
picking up. Thank
ma'am.
you. Okay, Oitlachige? Oitlachige? And you're going to have to pronounce your name for me because it's a big name. Oitlachige?
Asked to unmute. I don't know where she is now.
Yeah, I've also asked her to unmute. She's not answering. Okay, I'm going to move to the next person. Kalela?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, did I pronounce your name correctly? Do you want to pronounce it for me properly?
Okay, ma'am. My name is Kalalelo. It's not
Kalalelo.
the okay, ma'am. I wanted to ask you. I came late today, so I wanted to ask you, where should I go to restart the video?
So today's video will be available by tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon-ish, depending on when they finish editing it, and it'll be available on YouTube.
Okay, ma'am. I understand. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. I hope you go and watch, and I hope you learn something new.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good afternoon.
You too, ma'am. Bye.
Okay, so I'm seeing some people say, is 20 out of 31 good? That's excellent. 20 out of 31 is amazing. Well done. 23 out of 31 is very good. Well done, guys. 20 out of 31 is very good, depending on what you got last time. So if you did better than what you did last time, very well done. Well done. Azande, I'm not sure why you can't. I'm trying to see if maybe it's just you and I, maybe, I think. So strange. It's very odd, Mr. Hugo. Azande,
So,
I don't know.
I checked and the link is definitely correct. I could maybe just advise Asande to make sure that she's logged into her account and then click on the link.
Maybe, Azande, maybe log into your account. You have an account, eh, Azande? Yeah. So maybe try log in. So when you get to that page, have you tried logging in, Azande? Shame. Unmute you.
Ma'am,
There we go.
I had tried logging into my accounts, but it only brings me back to this.
It's very weird because because people have definitely done the quiz because they're getting marks. Some people are saying network issue. Oh, that's very strange. So Azande, can we maybe do you want to send me your email address? Do you want to send me do you want to send a personal message to Mr. Hugo with your email address in it, and he can maybe send it through to the admin at Watobe and find out why it's not working for you? Would that be okay?
Ma'am, I don't think I'll be able to. We have load shedding right now, and my wife is gonna go bad soon. It's about to start.
Okay. Oh, and she's gone. Oh, no, she's back. No, she's gone. No shame. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Hugo. I thought maybe we could sort it out that way. Okay, I see I've got a few more questions. Aisha? 2 more questions, 3 more questions. Aisha, and then Otlalike, I will help you, I promise. Aisha?
Hello, Mom.
Hi, how can I help?
I wanted to ask, when you click on that YouTube, you get a lot of videos. Did you take any of those video, or you have
So what you need to do is you need to look for the grade 7 videos. So I think the grade 7 ones are in green. So just look for the ones that are for grade 7.
or just the one for the grade 7?
Yes, you don't want to be looking for grade 12. Hey, you don't want to be looking at trig yet. Just the grade 7
Yeah.
ones.
All right. Okay. No problem.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. No problem. Right. Otlelihle, how can I help? Hey,
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go.
how can I help?
When is the quiz coming?
So the quiz is in the chat, so you can do the quiz right now. It's been in the chat. Yeah.
I came in late, so I didn't get the time to do the fractions.
Okay, Mr. Hugo has posted in the chat. He's posted in the chat again now as well. So if you want to go and redo the lesson, it'll be on tomorrow. So the lesson will be on YouTube, and then you can do the lesson, and the quiz is in the chat now.
When is the next class coming, ma'am?
The next class is next week, Monday.
Okay, thank you for helping me.
Thank you.